What's going on, everybody? I'm super excited to bring back another episode of the Medicare Agent Chronicles. My name's Johnny Brock. I'm your host on a consistent basis. It's been about, I guess it's been 2 weeks since I posted a video. Actually, no, not quite 2 weeks. I posted one around the 21st of October. And I was going to do it every week, but it's hard, when you're writing as many deals as I do. It's difficult. Once I scale my way out of the day-to-day production of things, then it will be a little bit easier. So I'm going to start off with this. A little bit of I guess, a shout out for agents within the Real Insurance Group. Um, you know, I'm super excited. I started my company in April, and we've got some production that's coming through that's pretty sweet. So we have. I'm not going to share my screen or anything. I'm going to go off of the cuff here. We've got my LOA and someone I work with on a day-to-day basis, Lilliana Coleman. She is a hot 50 applications in the month of October. So I'm super proud of her. She's getting a little bit over 20 a week, and just been doing phenomenal. Super excited for her, and look forward to paying her a good nice chunk of change early January. She's going to keep up the flow and continue to grow. And I'm excited to be able to build a Spanish division around Lily. So congratulations to Lily. Another agency that works under my organization is Thomas Key, the Key Agency. He's got some really good agents underneath him. Julia Hall, Saran Heath. I hope I'm not butchering any of these names. Of course, Thomas Key. And somebody else, Alicia Hollis, that just started. She's brand new and she's writing some applications, and I look forward to helping these organizations grow. And obviously, there's more people on his team. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head, but when I'm looking and processing numbers, and I'm going to put a leaderboard out early this week. But when I'm processing these numbers, there's quite a few names on there. Another one in Arkansas, Mindy Barron. I saw her name quite a bit. Mindy is somebody I'm excited to work with. I'm excited to help her grow her business. One big hard part that people have is hiring people. The most difficult thing when growing a business is hiring. It's hard to find people that are willing to actually do the work and show up every day, and just, it's hard, man. That's the hardest part of growing a business. So that's why, one thing that I respect my brother on and Bobby Brock Insurance and Tupelo is that it's been such a phenomenal hiring organization. I mean, he's impressive. That's the most impressive thing that Justin Brock has done, I can assure you. So I just kind of wanted to get a little tidbit there on a little overview of my organization, and I'll just name some more names: Will Schaefer, Lisa Hawley. I've seen some names in there, and I've just got a really, really great organization so far. And I'm not going to go and recruit hundreds of people and people that I don't know. And I want to recruit. I want to have a tight group of folks. That's my goal. I'm going to do everything that I can to help people grow their business and give them as much attention as possible. Obviously, the more my company grows, the more people are going to be drawn to it, attracted to it. So I'm excited about it, but nonetheless, thank you everybody out there. Thank everybody for their production, and I'm excited to see what the end of annual enrollment period holds. And like I said, stay tuned for the leaderboard. I'm going to put the leaderboard out there early this coming week for the month of October. And so yeah, that leads me to my next point. I'm going to go over some, one thing that I'm extremely big on is cross-selling your products that you have for your clients, because your clients need them. One of the products out there that companies pay the most money out on is home health. And so first of all, I want to give you an example. Let's say you have a client, her name's Betty, and Betty, she lives in the state of Alabama. Betty has a hip replacement, and Betty doesn't have anyone close to her that is able to come and help her with the day to day. And even if she did, the story would be the same. So Betty, instead of recovering in the comfort of her own home, she's unable to because she's got to go to a skilled nursing facility because she doesn't have home health. Now, if you flip it and you get her home health policy and you let her know, hey, because you have this home health policy, you actually have the ability to recover in the comfort of your own home for a couple of reasons. Number one, your home health care is going to be covered. Part A of Medicare is going to cover your home health care, and typically it's going to cover all of it, right? So if you're unable to recover completely, you need that help with the day-to-day living activities. Let's say that you can't transfer and you can't bathe, right? You can't wipe your ass, or you can't bathe, or whatever. Betty, because she's my client and she elected to get the home health product, let's say that she has 6 weeks worth of physical therapy, and also she has some general nursing care because she had a surgery, right? So let's say that the doctor prescribes her 6 weeks worth of physical therapy and general nursing care. And let's say that the total amount is she's got a complete package plan. So she has an additional $150 per day for home health aid. So she has $150 automatically. Let's say she's getting help 5 days a week. So she's going to have, and let's just say that adds up. Let's say the physical therapy plus the general nursing care adds up to $300 a day. So she has $300 for the home health care and an additional $150 for the home health aid. So $450 times 5 days a week. Just let me do the math on that so that I'm not 450 times 5 days a week. That's $2,250. And let's say it's 6 weeks. She's going to get a check for $13,500. Betty is going to use that money to pay someone to come and help her full time. So the cool thing about it is it's an indemnity style policy. So that policy is going to come in. It's going to pay her. She's going to use that money for what she needs it for, right? A lot of times, I have had clients use it to let's say their daughter took off work, right? Her daughter needs to have supplemented income, or let's say, she pays a home health agency locally. You can find people, for 6 weeks, that's a month and a half. They're not going to make, $10,000 normally in that month and a half. There's all kinds of things that you can use the money for. The bottom line is home health agencies, there's no medical insurance that's going to pay them because it's not medical. It's not medically necessary. It's not that it's not medically necessary. It's that it's not medical in nature. It's home health aid. Well, the good news is the home health care portion is covered. So you're not going to have to take any of that $13,000 and put it towards home health care. You're going to use it to pay someone to come in. You could use it to pay somebody to mow your grass. Let's say normally you're mowing your grass. You could use it to pay somebody to come in and clean your house. Normally you clean your house, do your laundry, whatever the case may be. The beauty of it is that you, as an insurance agent, it is your responsibility to take care of your clients and make sure that they have all the products that are necessary for them to have a comfortable life. And so that is why it's so important for your clients, because Medicare is not going to cover them for those non-medical expenditures. Make sure you offer home health care to your clients. Otherwise, you are doing them a disservice. So, and I'll also say this, another thing is that you could do, and this will kind of bring me into just getting the policy at no additional cost. Let's say that your client takes 4 medications per month. They get them prescribed monthly. Most of these products have a prescription reimbursement benefit. And I wouldn't even call it a reimbursement benefit. It's a cash back benefit. Maybe they get $15 for each generic drug. Maybe they get $30 for each name brand drug. Let's say they take 4 generic medications a month, which is good. That's a healthy individual typically. And that policy is going to pay them $720 per year. So if the home health policy costs, let's say $50, they get $720 a year. They literally make $120 a year to have the policy and have the coverage that they need. If you're unable to sell this product, you don't belong in insurance. That is the fact of the matter. So if you need help selling this product and help pitching it, I have a 5-minute pitch on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. And you can also reach out to me directly, and I'm happy to get on a 5-minute phone call and go over the pitch with you. But I'm going to go over it real quick now. And obviously sometimes people need elaborating, but here's the pitch. Use a story like Betty, right? I had a client in Florida. The one that I always use is I actually had a client in Florida once, and Florida doesn't offer home health coverage, so they're unable to get it. That client had a hip replacement. She was incapable of using the restroom on her own for 5 weeks. 5 or 6 weeks. And she had to come out of her own pocket, $5,000 to pay someone to come in and help her with those things. I use that story all the time And then I just ask them, or by that time, I usually know how many medications they're taking. So I'll let them know. The good news is if you utilize this product, to its fullest capability, you'll actually get the policy for free, or you'll actually make money with the policy. Let me tell you how, right? It's really not that difficult. The main thing is download the brochure, go over it with a family member or a friend, and get a good kind of idea of how the policy works. But I just told you, whatever the doctor prescribes that person for home health care, that's how it's going to pay out. The doctor prescribes 12 weeks of physical therapy, it's going to pay out 12 weeks of physical therapy. If it's 6 weeks or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever, it's going to pay out what it's prescribed. Typically, the doctors will reevaluate after that certain amount of time, and then if they need to file another 3 weeks or extension or whatever, then the company is going to pay out another lump sum amount. So bottom line is your clients need the product, sell them the product. I'm going to move on to critical illness real quick, because critical illness is another one that I think is extremely important. And you can actually use critical illness for a similar thing, right? If you give somebody a $20,000 cancer policy and they're receiving chemotherapy at home, there you go. Part of the policy on the home healthcare policy is chemotherapy. Chemotherapy can be done at home. And let's say that $20,000, they can use some of that to pay someone to come in and help take care of them. They can use it for the $2,100 out-of-pocket maximum for medications. They can use it for the $7,000 or $8,000 or $9,000 max out-of-pocket that they have on their Medicare plan. They can use it for travel expenses if they're going to see a doctor that's far away. They can use it for anything. They can use it to pay bills, loss of income. There's a lot of things. And if you're selling Medicare Advantage plans and you're not selling cancer with it, you are doing your clients a disservice. And that brings me to, obviously, the cancer. It includes heart attack and stroke a lot of times. So I'm not going to go into a whole spiel about heart attack and stroke. The next one is hospital indemnity. Same thing. Hospital indemnity plans are obvious. If someone has a Medicare Advantage plan and they have a $350 a day copay for 9 days in the hospital, you can cover that up for $30-$40 a month. You attach critical illness and home health to it, they're paying $120 a month for coverage that they really don't even have without it. They don't have extra home health coverage with Medicare. Medicare covers the medical part, yes, but guess how much non-medical costs are associated at home when you're receiving home health care? Typically, people are relying on their family members to do it. That's not right. If you're the type of person who believes that someone's family member should wipe their ass, get a grip on reality, dude. Nobody wants to do that. That sucks, okay? So you need to sell the products that are available to your clients so that they don't have to deal with that, okay? Lastly, another product that I recently started kind of looking into is recovery care, which even helps with, I haven't read too much into it, but Aetna offers a really good recovery care product. And the bottom line is that, there are so many products out there: recovery care, home health care. You have hospital indemnity, critical illness, final expense, and the Medicare product. Medicare creates the highest lifetime value client of any industry out there. Well, not any industry, any field in insurance. Okay. It just does. Medicare is a lead-in. Also health insurance too. Health insurance in general, whether it's Medicare or under 65, creates the largest lifetime value of any. And if you're playing the relationships correctly, which you should be, and just focusing on the relationships, you could be in final expense, and then you could add Medicare and add ACA and add, everything else, right? But the bottom line is the largest lifetime value client is one that you care and focus on the relationship with. That's the main thing. That's the bread and butter, is the relationship. I've got such great relationships with my clients that is why the lifetime value of my clients are higher than the average agent, because I focus on the relationship. People train on overcoming objections, and they train on following the script, but they should be training more on relationships. Relationships are everything, and that is why my clients are the highest lifetime value, because the relationships are priceless. And I have a insane, extraordinary ability to maximize the relationships that I build. Thanks for joining. I look forward to next week. I'm going to get a good friend of mine on, and we're going to chat a little bit. Probably do 2 this week. So I'm super excited about it. God bless everyone. Continue to crush AEP and help as many people as you possibly can. That is the goal. If you need me, if you want to talk, whatever, feel free to hop on my DMs and let's chat. The real Johnny Brock on all platforms. God bless.